Deep, deep in the whispering woods, nestled between giant mushrooms and sparkling fireflies, lived a little wizard named Finn. Finn was no ordinary wizard. He had a knack for discovering the extraordinary in the most ordinary of places. Every night he would wander through the forest, his eyes wide with wonder, taking in the magical sights and sounds that surrounded him. The forest was his playground, and every corner held a new adventure waiting to be uncovered. One night, as Finn was about to drift off to sleep, a loud bang echoed through the forest. It was so loud that it shook the very ground beneath his mushroom house. The noise was unlike anything he had ever heard before, and it sent a shiver down his spine. What could have caused such a commotion in the peaceful, whispering woods? Finn, filled with curiosity and a hint of fear, peeked out his window. The night was dark, but the forest was alive with the glow of fireflies, casting an eerie light on the trees. He squinted, trying to see through the darkness, but all he could make out were shadows dancing in the distance.
"Whoa!" Finn gasped, his eyes widening in amazement. He had never seen anything like it before. The forest, usually so calm and serene, was now filled with an electric energy that made his heart race.
A huge bolt of lightning had struck an old gnarled tree, setting it ablaze. The flames danced wildly, casting long shadows and illuminating the forest in a fiery glow. The tree, once a silent guardian of the woods, now crackled and hissed as the fire consumed it. But that wasn't the only strange thing. Amongst the flickering flames, Finn saw something glowing. It was a soft, pulsing light. Unlike the harsh brightness of the fire, it seemed to be calling out to him, beckoning him to come closer and discover its secrets. Curious, Finn grabbed his wand and whispered a spell he had learned from his grandmother. She had always told him that magic was not just about power, but about understanding the world around him. With a determined look in his eyes, he prepared himself for whatever lay ahead.
"Zoom!" Finn chanted, feeling the familiar rush of magic course through his veins. He felt a tingling sensation as the spell took effect, and in an instant he was off, moving faster than he ever had before.
With a pop, he teleported right next to the burning tree. The heat from the flames was intense, but Finn stood his ground, his eyes fixed on the glowing object. He knew that this was the beginning of a new adventure, one that would change his life forever. The glowing object was a small metallic box humming with energy. Cautiously, Finn touched it. The box sprang open, revealing a tiny robot with big blue eyes.
"Hello, my name is Bolt. Thank you for rescuing me."
Finn was amazed. He had never seen anything like Bolt before.
"Wow, you're a robot."
Bolt nodded enthusiastically.
"We're going to be the best of friends."
And so began their magical friendship. The next day, Finn and Bolt were playing in Finn's magical garden. Suddenly, a little girl with tear-stained cheeks appeared.
"Boo-hoo, my toy dragon Sparky flew away."
Finn and Bolt exchanged a look.
"Don't worry, we'll help you find him."
The little girl, whose name was Lily, explained that Sparky was no ordinary toy. He was a special wind-up dragon that came to life with a magic word.
"The word is sizzle, but he flew off before I could catch him."
Finn, Bolt and Lily set off into the whispering woods. The trees rustled and whispered secrets in the wind. Finn used his magic to light their way, making the dewdrops on spiderwebs shimmer like tiny rainbows. Bolt, with his super hearing, listened for any sign of Sparky.
"Do you hear that?"
The faint whirring sound, like the flapping of tiny wings, came from deeper within the woods.
"That must be Sparky."
They followed the sound, their hearts pounding with anticipation. The whirring sound led them to a dark and mysterious cave hidden behind a waterfall.
"This is the Cave of Echoes."
Finn whispered, shining his light inside. The cave was filled with strange glowing crystals that echoed every sound.
"Sparky! Sizzle!"
The cave echoed their voices, amplifying them.
"Sparky, sizzle!"
Suddenly, a high-pitched roar echoed through the cave. A dark shape swooped down from the shadows. It was Sparky, but he didn't look happy. He was caught in a giant spider web. Sparky roared, struggling to break free.
What's all this racket?
A gruff voice boomed from the back of the cave. A small, grumpy-looking goblin emerged from the shadows. He had a tangled beard and wore a patched-up hat adorned with shiny trinkets.
Give me back my dragon.
He flew into my web, finders keepers.
Finn knew they had to be clever. They couldn't fight the goblin, not in his own cave. Finn whispered a plan to Bolt. Bolt's eyes lit up. The plan was daring, but they had no other choice. The fate of their village depended on it. Finn had always been the brains of the duo, while Bolt, with his mechanical prowess, was the brawn. Together, they made an unstoppable team.
Great idea! Finn's friend exclaimed, their eyes wide with excitement. They knew that if anyone could pull this off, it was Finn and Bolt.
Bolt zipped over to the cave wall and, using his built-in tools, quickly assembled a giant slingshot from vines and rocks. The cave was dark and damp, but Bolt's sensors guided him flawlessly. He worked with precision, his metal fingers moving swiftly and efficiently. The slingshot was a masterpiece of engineering, sturdy and powerful. Finn, with a flick of his wand, conjured a handful of glowing berries. These weren't ordinary berries. They were infused with magical energy, capable of illuminating even the darkest corners of the cave. Finn's wand, a family heirloom, had been passed down through generations, and it never failed to amaze him with its power.
Ready, aim, fire! Finn shouted, his voice echoing through the cave. The children aimed the slingshot with determination, their hands steady despite the high stakes. They knew that this was their moment to shine, to prove their bravery and skill.
Finn loaded the berries into the slingshot, and Bolt, with his super strength, launched them at the crystals hanging from the ceiling. The berries flew through the air, leaving a trail of sparkling light behind them. Bolt's aim was perfect, and the berries hit their target with pinpoint accuracy. The cave lit up with a blinding flash of light and color. The crystals shattered, releasing a cascade of radiant energy that filled the cave with warmth and brightness. The children cheered, their faces glowing with triumph. They had done it. The village was saved, and it was all thanks to the incredible teamwork of Finn and Bolt. The goblin, blinded by the light, shielded his eyes. Sparky, energized by the magical berries, broke free from the weakened web. He swooped down and landed gently in Lily's arms.
Sizzle!
She cried happily, hugging him tight. Sparky nuzzled her cheek affectionately. The goblin, realizing he was defeated, grumbled and retreated back into the shadows. Finn, Lily, Bolt and Sparky made their way out of the cave, their laughter echoing through the whispering woods. Back in the safety of Finn's mushroom house, Lily thanked Finn and Bolt for their help. The cozy interior of the house was filled with warmth and the scent of freshly baked cookies. The walls were adorned with colorful drawings, and the soft glow of fairy lights added a magical touch to the atmosphere. It was a place where friends gathered, shared stories and created memories.
You saved Sparky! Lily's eyes sparkled with gratitude as she gently cradled the small bird in her hands. Sparky chirped happily, fluttering its tiny wings as if to say thank you.
She exclaimed. Finn smiled, his heart swelling with pride. He knew that their teamwork had made all the difference. The bond they shared was unbreakable, forged through countless adventures and challenges.
It was a team effort. Finn's voice was filled with sincerity. He looked at Bolt, who was busy tinkering with a small gadget. Bolt's quick thinking and innovative creations had saved the day more times than they could count. We couldn't have done it without Bolt's quick thinking and amazing gadgets. Lily nodded in agreement, her eyes shining with admiration for their clever friend. Bolt's gadgets were always a source of wonder and excitement, each one more ingenious than the last.
He said, giving Bolt a friendly nudge. Bolt grinned, his eyes twinkling with mischief. He loved being the brains behind their operations, always ready with a new invention or a clever solution. As Lily skipped away with Sparky soaring beside her, Finn and Bolt knew they would have many more magical adventures together. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the landscape. The air was filled with the sounds of laughter and the rustling of leaves as the friends played and explored. For there's no problem too big or too small when you have the power of friendship on your side. The friends hugged each other tightly, their hearts filled with joy and gratitude. They knew that as long as they had each other, they could overcome any obstacle and achieve anything they set their minds to. The magic of friendship was their greatest strength, and it would guide them through all their future adventures.